Coach. All right, we get started with Louisville press conference. We have head coach Jeff Walz, and he's joined by Haley Van Lith and Olivia Cochran. Coach, if you could just give us an opening statement, and then we'll take questions.
Well, I just, first like to start off like I try each game, no matter what side we come out on it. I'd like to congratulate Niele and her staff and her team on winning our league. I think it's the toughest, personally, league in women's basketball top to bottom. And to do it over a 2-month period to win the league is extremely impressive to me. I've always been a fan that I think the regular season champion should get the automatic bid in the NCAA tournament, because that's the team who showed over 2 months that they're the best team. And all of a sudden, kid sprains an ankle, somebody gets hurt, you lose semis or finals. But just congratulate them. And then I've got just give a huge shout out to our group. I mean, what an unbelievable effort we had at the defensive end of the floor. Just the fight we had. We go 1 for 13 from 3, 15 of 20 at the free throw line. We out-rebound them, though, by 12. We only turn it over 12 times. And just our effort defensively was fantastic. And if we want to continue to have success in this tournament tomorrow, and then in the NCAA tournament, that's what we have to do. That's something that we've built this program on over a 16-year stretch, is we might not score, but it's going to be damn hard for you to score. And unfortunately, this season, we didn't have that for some reason. But the past 2 ball games we have, and hopefully that will continue, because it's not getting any easier from here on out. But again, I've got a wonderful group. They're outstanding young ladies, and just blessed to coach them.
All right, we'll take questions. If you have a question, raise your hand. We'll get the mic to you. If you're on Zoom, please use the raise your hand function. Over here on the left, first question.
Jeff, you mentioned the defense. I mean, it just seemed like there's just a different attitude or mentality. What would you say is just different in terms of the way that, you guys are just approaching the defense right now?
Well, I just think it's our mental approach to it. It's just the importance, the urgency. It's not did my man score, it's did they score. And we were communicating so well today of picking up for each other. If I got screened, Haley jumped on my man and then I jumped on hers. Where throughout the season, Haley might switch or O might switch to help me, and then I just keep following my man like, oh, well, that's my man. Well, then they throw back to the one I switched off of and they score on us. Well, today, our communication was outstanding. We made things extremely difficult for Notre Dame to get into an offense, and I thought, it started with the ball pressure that Koss put on, and then when CC came out there, she did the same thing.
Here in the front row, John.
Haley, did you see something like this coming, where you guys just kind of kept going and, Notre Dame had no chance today?
I mean, I had no idea how Notre Dame was going to play, but I know who we were going to play. We've had a great vibe, great practices. The team is just locked in. So, I mean, I knew how we were going to play, and we played that way. It was just a matter of if Notre Dame was going to match us or not.
Back left.
Yeah, this is for the players. Coach talked yesterday in press about how he's really ramped up the intensity the past few days of practice. And I think a lot of teams and players and coaches talk about flipping a switch when you get to the postseason. But it seems like you all are kind of able to do it and respond. Can you talk about what makes this team kind of able to switch into another gear, and particularly what coach has done to kind of maybe change things from the regular season?
I feel like us just staying together, we had defensive stop. I feel like defenses win championships, so we got to play defense to keep winning, and I feel like that's our spark. That's what I feel like.
Haley.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. I think offensively we've been pretty consistent all season. It was just a matter of if we were going to decide to step up to the plate defensively. And I think we've all decided to trust each other is what I feel has been the main difference. Just like Coach said, our rotations are on point right now. We all have each other's backs, and people are willing to take charges. People are willing to get out there and hedge all the way to half court. So I think just the effort willing to be given on defense has elevated us.
Right here in the middle. Debbie.
Debbie Stroman, WCHL. Hi, Coach.
Hi, Debbie.
Guard play. Turnovers only 12, and yet the harassing, dominating defense. And then Olivia, could you speak to your extra effort, almost have a double-double against this tall Notre Dame team?
And I'll start. I'll take the blame for that, for not getting a double-double. She wanted to go back in. She played 22 minutes, but I told her she should have gotten all 10 of them in the 22 minutes.
Period.
So
Yeah.
I'm not sure what she was doing.
I'm soft, coach.
Soft, thank you. Thank you. Like butter, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm just really proud. Will tell you, we had a nice little conversation one day in the office just about trusting this process. And the thing about this game, it doesn't lie. If you cheat it, man, you will get exposed. Yep. And you can't hide it. If you're saying you're working on your ball handling, you're not as a guard, you get pressed, harassed like we are. You can't fool them. You can't be like, I swear I've been out there working on them. She's a physical player. But I was just like, stop trying to run everybody over. Stop trying to create contact. Just go up.
Yeah.
And our last 3 games, she's been spectacular, just catching, finishing, ripping, and drives. Great soft touch. We executed extremely well on baseline out of bounds and scored a couple big baskets. But I'm just really, really proud of the growth, from Olivia. And I know everybody's like, oh, can they win if Haley doesn't score? She forces so much attention, and she shared the basketball. She made some beautiful passes. She had a beautiful pass down there to Liz. It just didn't quite go in. But I think people now, you watch this and you're like, okay, you might put all your effort on Haley, but she's a pretty darn good basketball player of knowing how to get others involved too. And she set some great screens in yesterday's game and today's game. And she made a couple big shots there in the third quarter that extended our lead. So just really proud of all of them.
Well, I'm just doing my role. I know what my teammates need from me, so I'll just continue to execute that in any way I can. And if that's getting every rebound that come out the backboard, that's what I'm gonna do. If it's getting the putback, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just execute my role.
Right here, right.
Jared Anderson, Cardinal Couple. A week ago when you played Notre Dame, Sonia Citron had a really strong performance. You were able to take her out and keep her pretty non-effective for most of the game early on. What were you seeing that allowed you all to have such success against her today?
You want me or players?
Yeah.
You want to start or you want me to start? You got it.
I think this game instead of last game, I think, both games in the first half, we guarded her pretty well. And then in the second half, we just let her get space. We ran into screens. We weren't there on the catch. And I think just this game, we were there for 40 minutes. We made everything tough. We were staying on handoffs. We were in her body. When she came off screens, we didn't get screened. We were right back in the pocket. So I think we didn't give her any space. She was going to have to make really tough twos over us. And, so we just played the percentages there. But she's a great player. And, I expect her career to really take off from here.
We did a really good job. We're finally not running into screens. We were one of the best teams in the country at running into people throughout our regular season. We really were. You could be 5 feet away and we'd still figure out a way to run into you. And, Coach Norman would be sitting at practice the past week going, pretend it's a cactus. Pretend the screen's a chair. And you'd see him just jumping over the top of them, turning our feet. I've always said, you can give fake effort at times on the court. I go over hard and I run into a screen. Well, that's fake effort. And the past 2 days, have been phenomenal at getting over the top of screens, not running into screens, and then recovering if we did get hit a little bit to get back in the play. And I thought that's what we did such a good job of. And our post did an awesome job of making their post catch the ball higher up. Instead of being able to catch it at the elbow, they were having to rise up above the three-point line, which then kind of throws the offensive, the timing off. So just all of them, they all did such a wonderful job.
All right, we have one question on Zoom. Avery Wiggins, unmute your mic and ask your question, please.
Oh yeah, this question is for Haley Van Lith, and just how are you able to really find your sweet spot in the second half?
Yeah, I think I started off the game and I found my shots. They just weren't going in, and I'm the type of player that just because I miss a couple, my confidence level stays the same, and my coaches and my teammates were telling me to keep shooting, so I just kept getting to the same spots I got to in the first half. It wasn't really a different mentality or anything. I just kept the same mindset. I figured out that I could get downhill on them, and I just started playing out of those reads, whether I was going to drop a dump pass, get into my pull-up. I drew a couple fouls, getting to the rim. So I think I kept with my own game plan, and it paid off in the end.
Here on the left, third row.
Going back a little bit, y'all lost to them in the regular season by a combined 5 points, and then you had that obviously rough exit from here last year. Did any of that, all of that, give you guys some extra motivation?
Of course. Of course. I feel like that motivated us to everything. Like, we knew we had them, but we let up in the fourth quarter, in the second half, like we said, and we just kept putting the gas pedal, like we kept putting our foot on the gas pedal, and we knew what we needed to do, so we came out there and executed everything we needed to do.
And I'll take for last year's game. I've said that's the kids had nothing to do with that. They did everything they had to do to win the basketball game. I screwed that up. So last year's ACC tournament, they played fantastic. I screwed that up. And then I told them before the game started, we've lost by a combined 5 points. We led for 28 minutes of the game at Notre Dame. We led for 29 minutes of the game at our place on Sunday. It's not like we were down 18 and you scraped back to lose by 5. We just didn't finish. And obviously, that's a big part of it. But I thought today, we start to finish, played extremely well.
All right, last two right here. John, then back left.
How do you guys carry over that defensive effort tomorrow in a championship game?
It's a championship game. If we have to talk about that, we got some big problems.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be an issue. The excitement of either playing Duke or Virginia Tech, both are very great programs, great basketball teams. And the opportunity to play for a championship. I mean, yeah, we're excited. Our kids are excited. I have no doubt our effort is going to be the same tomorrow.
Good. Okay.
Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.